Welcome to your doom.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
See, I was happy that there wasn't as many of the Justin Timberlake's "It's Gonna Be May" thing. I seen a few of them.
It is a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But it isn't just May, Jake. Do you know what day it is?
Today?
Yes.
May the 4th.
It is May the 4th.
Yeah. Have you been sitting on that?
I have been sitting on it. Tony, dude, this thing is so heavy.
Yeah.
Tony stuck this thing over. I've been like hanging onto it, like trying to keep it out of sight from you.
All right, let me try it.
I don't think you deserve the red one.
Yep.
You're too nice.
That is heavy. It flexes and it makes noises. All right, so May the 4th.
Yeah,
May the 4th be with you.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to be holding this the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Listeners, for people listening, I'm holding a lightsaber. You can hear it.
No, they might have a Sith sense.
Hold on, let's see if I can get the sound. There you go. That's good. See if I can get the sound effect.
Nope.
Bump it?
Yeah, there we go.
I don't recommend doing this with your hand.
Yeah.
Listeners, I'm bumping the lightsaber part. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. Well, happy May the 4th, everyone.
Yeah, there we go. So, sorry. So I hope.
Welcome to Non-Essentials Podcast.
Yeah.
I got to get into that. That is episode 114.
Yes, it is. Did you just look at the sign behind me?
Well, no, I'm like May the 4th. I thought there was a connection there.
Yeah.
So
So I just want to say, like, I hope you all enjoyed the interview with Chris Schlichting.
Yeah, I had a blast on
That
that
was a
one.
super fun time.
Yep.
Super likable guy. Like, and actually we're really excited to for the next episode coming out, where we had the privilege of bringing in Sasha Rosser.
Yeah,
right?
she's a blast too.
Super entertaining person as well. So
And at the Comedy Cabin coming up, was it May 25th?
May 25th.
She will be
headlining. So there you go. So, and speaking of the Comedy Cabin, this episode is sponsored by CabinLaughs.com.
Hold your hands up,
There we go.
listeners. We're holding the
So
sign.
buy your tickets at CabinLaughs.com to go see the Comedy Cabin here in Janesville, Wisconsin. So anyway, so here we are, episode 114.
Yeah. Oh, and also like and subscribe to our YouTube page, please. Yes. Now we're through all the promos. Let's get into the May the 4th jokes.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Sure.
We'll see if we can pepper them. I'm Adam, Luke on the bright side. Riley.
I didn't think of one. My name's Jake Bussey. Actually, let me go right into a random fact. Let's kick us off running. I think I was talking about it, but for listeners. All right, so the human eye, when you're watching a video, I thought this was interesting. When you're watching a video, we need at least 20 frames per second for it not to appear too choppy. When you're watching a movie, it generally averages 29 frames per second. That's called the cinematic look. But what I found was interesting, according to a TikTok user, is why don't everyone take a guess. How many frames do you think a cat needs before it sees motion the same way we do?
I mean, it's a predator, so it's much faster.
Right. So
I don't know, twice as much as us.
It's like 70 frames per second. Actually, dogs need 70 frames per second. A cat needs 80 frames per second. So if you sit there and think your cat is actually watching TV, it's actually kind of like watching a slideshow. I don't know. I thought that was fascinating.
Just like,
yeah. So maybe that's why it's more into like the clicker or the cursor on your computer, because it's a higher frame rate, or something like that. I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah, that's also like it also makes me think that you kind of somewhat torment your animals then when you just make them
maybe
watch your Excel PowerPoint presentation. Or
well, the thing it did remind me of is and I think the reason is because they have a shorter optic nerve to their actual brain. Like our impulses have to travel farther, which is slower. Like I think sound, like the starting pistol, they use sound as the quickest reflex because it's the shortest nerve distance.
So it makes
travel.
sense because like I know women get UTIs faster and easier because they have a shorter urethra.
That's exactly what I mean. That's following the same logic.
There we go.
I'll have to Luke that one up.
There we go.
Buckle up. This is getting annoying.
Oh, man. Okay, so, you know what? Honestly, let's go right into this awful story. So, I honestly almost used this one as a catfish game.
Sure.
But, like, because it was so bizarre, but it was somewhat recent. I'm like, maybe Jake saw it. But just in case you haven't, there was a 24-year-old woman in Somalia who was relaxing at home when suddenly a stray bullet came through her ceiling and struck her.
That sucks.
Yeah. Now, I feel like the best way to describe her
You said
injury.
Somalia, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the worst part.
Yeah. Is it bad? It punched through a tin roof,
So I feel the best way to describe her injuries would be to read the details that were published in the report.
All right, let's have them.
This was a quote. To the best of our knowledge, this was the first wayward bullet injury penetrating the vulvar area with a retained
bullseye
with a retained bullet in the clitoris.
Come again?
So you could actually look this up,
Sure.
Jake. I feel like
Robin Hood has been bumped.
Yeah.
So, like,
I feel like you should put up like the you can see like the scan of this where it's literally like a round.
I've heard of an axe wound, but a gunshot wound.
Hey, there we go. So anyway, this means that the stray round is literally lodged in the devil's doorknob. and this is not a joke. Like please post the CT scan for the. Go ahead.
Is there a dildo called a bullet? Am I crazy? Is there one called a bullet? I think there's.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Tony, get on that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure in like some alternate universe, there's a lady with a stray rabbit lodged in her too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, fortunately, the surgeons were able to remove it, and she was discharged the next day.
Yeah.
I did laugh when it said discharge.
Yeah.
There we go. But side note, the article did state that that non-pregnancy related vagina injuries usually result from straddle injuries and animal or human bites. And I don't know why I had to include that because I was like, what? First of all, what's a straddling injury? Like, is that where you go off a bike and hit, miss the seat?
Yeah, Renee. So, I think it is. Can I ask? Isn't the origin of son of a gun? Isn't it like some like weird urban legend where
the round went through some guy's nuts?
Yeah.
And, like into some lady's. Yeah, I feel like I've heard that. I think that's
if Jesus is coming back, that's his sleigh that he's coming on.
I'm pretty sure that chick just said, "Oh, are you showing the?"
Is there a bullet?
Yeah, you just got a massive grimace from the female.
Okay, headshot.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, women always like to joke that men can't find this particular spot on a woman, but apparently, like in Mogadishu, there's a vagina sniper.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, dude, clit sniper sounds like a great gamer tag.
It's just like clit sniper 69420.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's who's been fucking my mom.
Yeah. So was she okay?
Yeah, like, she was discharged. Look, oh wait,
that's a bullet.
Hold on a sec, Tony. Why is that saved in your screenshots from 2 years ago?
Listener, that is I'm being shown what appears to be a pink .50 caliber round. Like it is. Yeah.
Oh.
That's a shot heard around the world. Oh,
that's
wow.
Caught in the sniz.
Came in from the top.
Huh. It's a vibrator that's like this big versus like a dildo.
Okay, so we're
just
getting
a little guy.
From our correspondent. We found out that it's
like
a
little
smaller
red dog dick.
Yeah.
Cool, gotcha.
They should give it's like a 22,
Oh,
interesting.
Man. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. It's just I guess.
Dude, this is the most. And here's the other thing. Looking at that X-ray of the bullet, it's not deformed, which means soft landing.
Well, yeah, it would have absolutely. She doesn't have like a sniz of steel.
Sure.
She's not.
She's got a soft roof.
Yeah. It's a badge of honor.
I like it.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
I was like, you're sipping. I was like, please laugh more.
Yeah. EA, get on that Call of Duty. All right, so
Somalia. We'll do Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, we'll be there soon. Oh, did you see? I was going to say, do you remember we did in Last of Us news?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I had an update of in Last of Us news.
I'm so excited for 2 years from now when they come out with the next season.
Yeah, it should be good. So, a 61-year-old, what do you call it? Mycologist, works mushrooms.
I don't know.
Became the first person to be infected with a fungus.
Like cordyceps?
Not that specific type, but it's this first type of this specific fungus, and I believe it was in was it India? My client knew about it.
Okay.
Today, basically, it's called hoarse voice and fatigue for roughly about 3 months, and it's one of those like, why does it happen now?
Before the elections?
No, with
kidding.
everyone all just it's like, and basically they blamed it on the same reason The Last of Us blamed it on. Warming of the climate is causing changes in the fungus.
Oh, there you go.
So we got about a couple more months to do this and have some fun, and then
yeah, you heard it here first,
yeah.
folks.
Yeah, look out.
Oh, so I like to do my catfish at the end, but I think that I'm going to do my catfish now. And then, Jake, do you want to describe what a catfish is for new listeners?
Sure.
And old listeners beating their heads against the wall for hearing this for the 114th
I'll summarize it
time.
quick. Basically, I was led down a wrong website one time where apparently the headline was where the truth doesn't matter, or something like that. And I was bringing articles in. Adam turned it into a fun game where there's one real article and 2 fake ones. And we encourage you to play along, make your guesses, and let us know how you do.
All right. So I feel like the theme here is going to be a little on the nose.
Okay.
That's not a pun. So anyway, so number 1, Mexican mayor marries alligator in ritual indigenous ceremony meant to bring prosperity.
Okay.
Number 2,
Sure.
First Nations sweat lodge ceremony cut short after nonstop flatulence from an anonymous participant.
Okay.
Number 3, Beatnik bans negativity cleansing ceremony of sage smudging engulfs entire tour van full of instruments.
I'm going to go with number 2. We're nonstop. We got 2 3s and a 2. We're nonstop flatulence.
Okay.
That's my guess.
That's
what was the third one?
Beatnik bans negativity cleansing ceremony of sage smudging engulfs entire tour van full of instruments.
I don't even know what that means.
When you burn sage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to like they're trying to get rid of negativity and then ends up like burning up all their.
Was the most negative thing to do.
Yeah. All right. So now this goes. I'm really excited because I finally sunk your record. Jake has been just smoking me.
I was wrong last time. That's all right.
Were you?
Yeah, I believe so.
I didn't think you were. Okay, so this actually happened July 3rd, 2022. Victor Hugo Sosa, the mayor of San Pedro in Mexico, wed an alligator bride in hopes of bringing prosperity to his community.
Wait, it was a female alligator?
Listen, I don't judge, okay? Here's where I did judge. On Thursday, in a ritual ceremony that dates to pre-Hispanic times, the mayor kissed and danced with a 7-year-old reptile who was dressed in a white bridal dress.
That's not old enough. Like I don't like this.
So, as a prayer for nature's bounty, the alligator with mouth bound shut is believed to be a deity of representing Mother Earth. The marriage symbolizes the connection between humans and the divine. He said, "This is his quote." And remember, he's from Oaxaca.
Okay.
Well, we ask.
Is it Oaxaca, Mexico?
Yeah. We ask nature for rain and for enough food.
Keep going.
Oaxaca, Ireland. So anyway, we ask nature for rain, food, and enough food, and we have fish in the river, he said during the ceremony. So basically, it's just like it's actually kind of an interesting thing, that this is even before like Europe ever came over.
I'm gonna try to find a video of this. Does he hold the alligator up, walk it down the aisle?
It's full on marriage.
Does he kiss it?
Yeah, he's smooching on it. He's not like tongue punching it. It's cloaca.
Well, hopefully not. It's only 7.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that's honestly, so as soon as I read that, I actually, and this is why I wanted to do this one first instead of ending on it, because I'm going to go on a bit of a, not rant, but just kind of like a little interesting thing here. Yeah. So I was like, okay, like what is like 7? Because I wanted to make some sort of like, 7 in dog years. What's alligator years, right? Okay. So, now and back in the day when we were first recording, it seemed like we were always talking about alligator attacks and everything else.
Were, yeah.
There's always alligator facts. Well, I'm going to drop some more alligator facts. This is a nice callback. So alligators and crocodiles are animals that are biologically immortal. Okay.
Sure.
So, and the exact term is, I typed this out phonetically, negligible senescence.
Duh.
Okay, yeah, exactly. The official term is that, meaning that they do not exhibit evidence of biological aging. And so alligators, crocodiles, since they do not die of old age, they continue to grow and grow as they get older. And now, obviously, they don't live forever. Mm-hmm. Alligators and crocodiles tend to live around 30 to 50 years.
Okay.
And I did see one article where there's one, like the longest living one is I think it's like 87 or something, right?
Sure. Okay.
But they tend to live about 30 to 50 years. But as they get older and bigger, they have a difficult time hunting enough prey to sustain their size.
Okay.
And so at some point, they eventually die from starvation.
Sounds like a wife. Sorry. Had to put a joke in. He's gonna. It's Mexico. He's gonna turn him into boots anyways. Yeah. Like they made the original Crocs.
Yeah. Anyway, there are other vertebrate animals that are biologically immortal. There's like flounders. There's sturgeon.
I didn't know either of these.
Yeah, sturgeon. Okay. I feel like when I saw sturgeon, I was like, I feel like I've heard that before. Okay. And then obviously, like some tortoises. and
Sure.
and
Madonna, you know.
Madonna, Keith Richards.
I think that one's getting too big to hunt, you know.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God, yeah. Yeah, I like how Madonna's gone full alien face with her.
Yeah.
With,
I think I saw one of my favorite memes I've seen is like, all right, who had money on Roseanne looking better than Madonna? So it's like that and John Goodman being alive.
so anyway, I just thought that was kind of like an interesting fact.
Sure.
That and it made me think of I also read a fact that I guess whales don't really have a lot of natural predators because they're so big.
Yeah.
Obviously, some whales get smoked by other things, right?
Yeah.
But I guess like eventually when a whale gets old enough naturally,
It's sad.
you already know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets too weak to go to the surface to get air, and so it just drowns, and it just falls to the bottom. So welcome to the Not Essential Podcast, a comedy podcast. Enjoy that. Whale of a tale.
Anyways, after dead whales and
But no, okay,
7-year-old
but, but no, how cool is that the alligators, they just get so big and
Yeah.
so monstrous that they're just like, all right, roll me that gazelle.
yeah, no, it's so moving on to this, I had no, it's fine. So all right, so you've run a marathon.
Yes.
So I came across a story that I wanted to bring up to you, and I want to get your perspective on it.
Okay.
Okay. So this is an ultra marathon, which is it like 100-mile? It's
I think so, yeah.
okay. So it's
I barely did I don't, like, that was awful for
See,
me.
the thing
I
is,
can't
like-
even wrap my brain around, like, the people
Yeah.
that can do the 100-mile ones. So
that's kind of why I was like, I don't think I should speak to this. I can't talk shit if I can't even do.
yeah.
All right, so ultra marathoner Josiah Zavsiki had rode in a car for 2.5 miles during a race and could face a lifetime ban. In the GP
Wait, rode in a car?
in a car. So let me get through the whole thing,
Okay.
and then it's the ultra marathon race from Manchester to Liverpool. I don't know how far that is. Sounds like a ways. Here's the thing: it's like she accepted third place trophy.
Okay.
And she said she didn't intend to cheat, but he got in the car because she was limping and was planning to withdraw, but then felt better. What are your
Okay.
thoughts on this?
Wait, how far did they drive her?
2.5 miles.
I mean, why would they keep driving the same course if she was feeling, right?
Maybe going to the end or something.
Oh,
Maybe it's
I
part of
guess.
the team.
I mean, I will say this, like, I'm torn, because I feel like this should have been, if she's like, I'm feeling better, then I would have been like, drop me back off at my entrance point, If
Sure.
I'm feeling better, I wouldn't be like, granted, you sit there and think like, she still ran 97.5 miles,
Yeah.
which is like,
I'm sitting here like, you pussy.
yeah, I'm like, oh, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
But no, that's still a long way. So she still accomplished something. If you said like she went 30 miles, then I'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck you, but
Just accepting a third place trophy. I'm like, that's where it's a little like,
there's a fourth place person that could have gotten that trophy
Sure.
for third place. Or at the very least, she could have recused herself and be like, hey, on it, like, this is what happened. I just want to make it to the end of the race. I still did it. I did it for me, not whatever. I'd like to step out of the third place. And,
right. I think you were right where it's like, if you feel better, have the car take you back.
yeah.
And then I think you could have finished where you wanted to finish.
But let's say that person was like, I'm fucking driving back, Then then you dip out.
Run to the right 1.25 miles
Yeah.
and then run back to that.
Exactly.
Just make the difference up.
Yeah.
I thought
It's
that
funny.
was fair.
Well, actually, like, because my specific marathon was during COVID.
Yeah.
And so it was a virtual marathon, so you had to basically kind of run on your own. And so I used my front porch. This is before I knew that Jake and a couple other of my friends were gonna surprise me along my route with aid stations. But I was gonna just do it by myself, and I plotted the course out to use my porch. I had 5 cups of
Oh, okay.
I because I was going to do 5 legs there and back 5 times
Yeah.
to equal out the distance that I needed, and so I had everything divvied up and everything, and I was just going to do it for myself, just to do it for myself, which is what this person should have been doing anyway.
Right.
But then I knew that at one point I had to finish my 26.2. I had to go up 2 blocks and then down 2 blocks to cap off the exact 26.2.
I remember you saying that. And actually, this kind of
On the last leg too, you're like, fuck this. It sucks.
This leads into something. I was listening to a book about. I think the book's about like willpower, and I just listened to something that I always thought was interesting. Do you remember the experiment with the rats about hope?
That does sound familiar.
If not, I can recap it.
Is it something like with water drowning or something like that?
So it's a sad experiment. But it's fucking rats, But it's so they threw rats in a barrel, and the rats were swimming for like 30 minutes, and then the rats drowned. They had 2 barrels who did this, and right before one of the barrels drowned, they picked the rats up, and they let it catch their breath, and they put them back in the barrel, and those rats swam for like 48 more hours, right? And they basically concluded that when you mentally give up and you think you're not going to get rescued, it's like it's like you exhaust quicker. But if you have hope, it'll push you on. And this book I was reading, they're talking about ultramarathoners and stuff, and they actually think that the actual feeling of exhaustion might be a psychological defense that your brain convinces you of to conserve energy and because it thinks your muscles can't take it. So it'll make you feel exhausted. It'll make you feel.
Yeah, it is absolutely mental. Like as a runner, like I can absolutely tell you that. And it's funny because people always say, "Oh, runner's high." I'm like, you know what? I would say that I get a runner's high about a mile and a half in. I'm like, man, I could literally do this forever. And that lasts about half a mile.
Sure.
And then by mile 2, I'm like, fuck this. So like it is truly all mental. Like I've never enjoyed running really. So.
No, I don't either. I didn't even like watching you do it. It was like, that looks awful.
Yeah.
It was funny when we drove by initially, I had the kids in the car and I didn't want to let them know we were setting up like a little table. So I'm like, duck down, kids. And I just pretended to ignore him. I didn't know he saw me driving by.
We made eye contact and he smirked at me. It was like, kind of give me like a sheepish wave. I was like, cool, man. Like,
I had a spot picked out with a table and Gatorade in the back, so it was.
Yeah, that's funny though. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And if what are 3 2-letter words that mean small?
3
2-letter words that mean small.
In? I don't. 2.
Is it in?
Oh, okay. I had a couple of those. All right, sure. All right.
Going back to that,
Jesus, I just lost. that was bad.
Clearly, Jake's never been told that before. Way to brag.
Flashlights can't talk. So, speaking of which, pass me that lightsaber. I haven't check the butthole on that thing.
I was gonna say, I don't think your wife wants you to call her a flashlight.
This thing is heavy enough where it should do that.
Yeah.
And actually, for anyone that has a lightsaber, it should do that. I'm just kidding there, Tony. Yeah. This thing is oddly impressive. That's what she said. Like it's weighty, it's girthy in a way that I get now why women are.
Dude, you gotta cup the balls on this thing.
Yeah. And gently give it back to you.
Oh man, you gotta pinch the tip.
Oh, speaking of balls, I guess is somewhat segues.
Sure.
There is a serial sperm donor, which is a phrase I think is hilarious. He's being taken to court.
I was like, is it me? Because I donate to Kleenex.
Yeah, like
whatever.
So a serial sperm donor is being taken to court for fears of incest for fathering over. Take a guess, children. Just
200.
550.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. 41-year-old Dutch musician, which we don't need more of those. We have one.
He's just playing the clogs.
Yeah. And his name's Jonathan Jacob Myers, which always hurts me. My brother's Jonathan. My mom's creative. Hi, Mom. She watches. All right. Who now lives in Kenya. He ignored all limits to the Donor Kin Foundation, and the courts are now attempting to.
He's Dutch and then moved to Kenya.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So I guess you can. I don't know if they ran him out of town.
Man, I mean, you could just blast 550 babies in Kenya too, I suppose.
That's true, right? But yeah, I don't know what the limit is, but I do think 550 is too many kids to donate.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think of like what kind of that's got to be a nice tax deduction.
Oh, that would be excellent.
Which seems like a great time to bring up our next sponsor.
Yeah. Jensen Accounting.
Are you tired of all the paperwork that comes with running a small business? Headache from hundreds of new tax laws and 550 children?
And not getting the deductions I deserve.
Let Jensen be your Tylenol. You can find them on Facebook by searching Jensen Accounting and Consulting. That is Jensen Accounting and Consulting in Janesville, Wisconsin. Just a quick jog away from Rogan's Shoes in Janesville, Wisconsin.
Perfect. Another weird one I had. Did you know the sun is actually waking up after decades? Do you know there's such thing as a solar cycle?
Okay, no, but go ahead.
Okay, so recently, has anyone seen the northern lights that have been kind of blanketing all over? So the sun's about to hit its solar maximum, and apparently a hole 20 times larger than the Earth has opened up on the sun in these giant spots, producing winds upwards of 1,000,000 miles an hour.
A hole in the sun?
Yeah, essentially it's like sunspots, and it's like just...
Is it black hole sun? Not to make a
Essentially,
joke.
yeah.
I'm not even trying to be funny, but I'm saying like, yeah, is that like, I mean, that is a thing then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you look it up, it's the sun. I believe it has 11-year cycle of solar minimums and maximums.
Okay.
And it's there's this way or that way about how it correlates, but a lot of it's like northern lights.
Okay.
A bit weird weather, magnetic phenomena.
I haven't seen a lot of stuff like about northern light. I haven't seen it personally, but I've seen people posting about it on.
Well, I think it just creates more like solar flares and stuff too, which get pulled in as northern lights around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they recently reached down as far as I thought it was like Missouri. Potentially, which does happen, but it's always like 150 years in between or something like that.
Really?
And that's just from like an X-class solar flare.
And again, what's the cycle?
It's 11 years. It's called the solar minimum and the solar maximum, and it's just correlation of sunspots. And I think Galileo was the first one to start tracking it by looking at the sun, and it just looks like little dark spots
burning out his retinas.
Essentially,
like, man, how many? What is it that to register a movie? He said 20.
Oh, yeah, 20.
How many frames? He's like, zzz.
Yeah.
I hope they just wait till they invent movies in a couple hundred years. I'm not going to be able to see shit. Well, okay, I have a listener write in here from listener A, who I guess you could say he is our chief seaman.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Yeah.
No, he is in the Navy, and he actually sent me this article. The Navy has, and it's. I'm just gonna read the post. The title. It says, "U.S. Navy hires active duty drag queen to be the face of recruitment drive."
Super. I love it.
And it's kind of interesting. The U.S. Navy invited an active duty drag queen to be a digital ambassador as part of a recent drive to attract the most talented and diverse workforce in combating plunging recruitment.
I don't want to take any of your jokes. I do it too much. So I'm like, get them all
fine.
out.
I'm just saying, like, I told him, it's like, whatever, I don't care. Like, I mean, I look at it this way, like, even when, I mean, because this has come a long way since Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which is when I was in the military.
Yeah, I think it's great.
But with that being said, like, I don't care if you want to serve your country. But this is not doing the Navy any favors with the gay underway thing. It's like, because every single, like, I'll tell you this. I have a lot of buddies that are Navy, and, me being a Marine.
My dad was in the Navy.
Well, there you go. But hi, Chuck. Yeah. But with me being
Chuck
a Marine, the Marine is basically, it's the infantry of the Navy, essentially.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's no Department of the Marine Corps. There's only Department of the Navy that we're under. So, we're still technically Navy. But with that being said, I have a lot of Navy buddies, and like most of them just like lean into it. They're like, "Yep, yeah, super gay." It's like, you're taking my jokes.
I am confused. Like, is this recruiter just in like a naval female uniform?
This is Joshua Kelly, who identifies as non-binary. Was appointed as the first of 5 Navy digital ambassadors in a pilot program that ran from October to March. So he goes by this stage name Harpy Daniels, and has shared their journey on TikTok and Instagram, where they are described as performing on board, which is whatever, and became an advocate for people who are oppressed for years in the service.
I think it's wonderful.
So,
and honestly,
if you want to put a wig and dress on, makeup on, and serve the country, I don't give a shit. But like,
and
it just still is like. I mean, you're gonna get roasted.
And honestly, it's like
get roasted if you're a vegan as well. It's like whatever.
It's like, honestly, do you know anyone else more qualified to fill a poop deck?
Swab it
with semen.
Yeah.
Just to finish the obvious jokes. I mean, great, awesome.
Nah, it's definitely full of shit.
Like, we're flying drones these days, anyways. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Anyway, but that, however, like it seems like kind of odd timing, just because of the whole Bud Light controversy. Yeah. We've been kind of joking about it on the last couple of episodes, but I feel like Bud Light, because as of this week, they have apparently dropped like 20% in their revenue.
Yeah, I noticed it went right back to the horses.
Well, but I will say that I guess worldwide they've only dropped 1%.
Yeah, it's alcohol.
But yeah, exactly. But like, I feel like they need to, to steer back to 20% or whatnot. I'm assuming they're interested in because of shareholders or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like you need to put something like Bob Ross on there,
Yeah.
or like Mr. Rogers or something. Somebody like you're like we all love him, and if you don't, you're like there's no.
How about just the word beer?
Yeah,
Like just
I would drink that.
Here's a new slogan. It's just the word beer. Like
I just want to tell you
white
this.
can, black letters, beer. I'd buy that.
You can misspell it, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
Two
bear.
E's? Nah.
But so anyway, like I will say this though, even though their whatever sales have dropped, I can 100% tell you that my personal Bud Light purchases have increased by 100%.
Thank you. I started drinking it.
Like I'm not kidding you.
You picked up the funny guy.
Yeah, exactly. I have like gone out of my way to drink Bud Light now.
Yeah.
Like, and then to the point where like I went to a housewarming party like 2 weeks ago.
Like that Bud's for me.
Yeah. I went to a housewarming party 2 weeks ago, and I literally brought a case of Bud Light.
Yeah, no,
Here we go, boys, we're partying.
And like, I know you've heard this joke, but it's like what I've said about it is, I don't know if I said this last time, but it's like the thing they really messed up on is they just put it on the wrong can. They put it on the normal can. If you'd put it on that skinny seltzer can, no one would have cared. But you put it on my dad's can. My dad all day just taking it in the face from this stuff, and he just tries to escape into his fridge, and boom. You got crying games.
He has to take it in the face.
Stop trying to change that aged man. You're picking a fight at this point. Like Bud Light, you got punched in the mouth for making a bad joke. That's what happened to you.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares.
But like I don't know. I think that it is like I said.
I'm glad Dylan's career probably even skyrocketed more from it. It's awesome.
And honestly, I just love I love the people getting upset about it. It's like who gives a shit,
Yeah.
But
so she was in a bubble bath with a pedestrian can. Like this, that's not what those are for.
I guess that those aren't on the market either. Like I've been trying to buy the Dilla can.
Yeah, they're
gonna
be worth money.
Oh, I don't think there's a lot. Yeah. Like I think that Dylan got some made for them and that was it. But it has, like I said, it has become my go-to choice when I tell someone, hey, let me buy you a beer.
Yeah.
And then like I literally give him a wink as a chaser.
Yeah. This is the adult version of when your buddy wants to sit a seat away from you in the movies and you just keep moving by him.
Like
chase him right out the road.
Actually, one of my best buddies in the world, listener Jay in New Jersey, like that's his go-to move. If you're at a urinal and there's 5 of the urinals, Jimmy goes right next to you.
Says, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
I'm sure
so
he's fine with
anyway, yeah. So are you guys tired of hearing about beer cans being destroyed? No? Okay, good. Yeah. Well, let's talk about some more. So Belgian customs have seized and destroyed a shipment of 2,352 cans of Milwaukee piss water recently due to its packaging.
Okay.
You've seen the logo, right? Where it's like the girl sitting on the crescent moon.
Yeah.
Right? She's like in kind of
like
a yeah. Yeah. Well, if you look in close enough, that girl's actually transgender.
Really?
No, I'm definitely kidding about the transgender part.
Man, I bought that hook, line, and sinker. Like the DreamWorks Moon kid got me on that.
But anyway, no, the cans are destroyed because of the slogan printed on the can.
Okay.
You could. Can you remind listeners, Jake, what the slogan for Miller High Life is?
No. Is it King of Beers?
The what? The champagne of beers.
Okay.
And a move that would make Carrie Nation very happy. And the only person laughing that is Renee. Hello, Renee. You remember who Carrie Nation is?
No.
She's the temperance movement lady that went in with a hatchet and smashed open all the kegs of beer. Do you remember her? Yeah. During the 19th Amendment. I'm sorry, 18th Amendment. Oh,
yeah, I do. Yeah, she sounded like fun.
Yeah,
she was
a hatchet wound.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was when, like, after the 21st Amendment.
If you can't beat them, beat them.
Yeah. After the 21st Amendment got instated, they and you could drink alcohol. They put signs that said "All nations welcome except for Carrie." Anyway, so in a move that would make Carrie Nation very happy, each can was opened and dumped out at the request of Comité Champagne. That's the name of a committee designated to protect the sparkling wine in France. Europe is very strict with their laws prohibiting a drink called champagne unless it was made in a very specific region of France. Can you guess the name of the French region, Jake?
Champagne,
France.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, I missed the first time.
I got it. All right.
Hold on, go back. They had to open each can, or they just stabbed it?
I think they opened and drained each one. It's probably more ceremonial.
Spraying your finger.
Yeah,
I'd be like, no, screwdriver. Like, fuck that.
So anyway, so basically, think of it this way, because in Champagne, France, if you were to take the same ingredients and then make the same wine the same exact way, but outside the region of Champagne, France,
Okay.
it cannot be called champagne. It has to be called sparkling wine.
Don't we have a Champagne, Illinois?
Yeah,
we can get this going.
Yeah,
Fuck you, France.
Yeah, that's funny.
It'd be a revolution.
Well, I was gonna say, think of it this way: Scotch can only have the title of Scotch if it was distilled in Scotland.
Okay, yeah, that's
So,
familiar.
out-
Hey, you're a lord for
Yeah,
other
here we go,
listeners.
here we go.
I made him and Renee lords and ladies.
There we go.
And you
YouTube
can
listeners.
too on some website.
Yeah, for $50.
And we can go on the moon.
Yeah. So with that being said, like if you can take the same ingredients and distill the same exact way, but outside of Scotland, it's a single malt, right? Single malt whiskey.
I didn't know this at all, but it does explain why I don't understand drinking at all.
Yeah,
at bars.
there you go.
Okay.
Tequila is the same thing too.
Tequila
Really?
is the
What
same
is
thing?
it? What is tequila called outside of? I'm assuming in Mexico.
Mezcal.
It's called vomit.
Mezcal.
Oh,
Really?
sorry.
I have heard mezcal, but I didn't know. So there you go. So fact
I
checker
call
Tony.
it vomit.
Yeah,
Because
No,
when
it's
I'm done with
future-
it,
yeah,
like,
it's future vomit. So fact checker Tony lived up to his title and
mezcal?
actually, so tequila outside of Mexico,
It's one state of Mexico.
one state of Mexico is just mezcal. So which I did.
So tequila is one state. Everything else is mezcal.
Huh? State of drunkenness.
so
So
we're learning a lot about
Yeah,
alcohol.
there we
here.
go.
This is
So-
exciting. I like this.
and I was kind of like, well, what the fuck does champagne mean, right?
Yeah.
You know, because I doubt that they're like, I know we should maybe name this place after a white bubbly white wine, eh?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so
Champagne means preppy wine.
yeah,
So, like,
it means some rapper is going to dump it all over a stripper someday.
yeah.
So the word champagne is actually derived from the Latin word Campania, which is the name of a countryside south of Rome, which is and so basically when the Romans got to France, they were like, wow, this has the same like rolling hills back home as Campania, you know,
Sure.
so they named it Champagne, you know, or it just derived off of that, right?
It's like the York, New York, stuff
Essentially,
that we do.
That's
Okay.
New Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, I don't even mean to be like a New York hipster there, but let's
Sure.
just call it New Amsterdam.
Okay.
So anyway, so Molson Coors, the owners of Miller High Life, have responded in the most American way, and actually kind of almost beat them to the punch a little bit, Jake. But they said, "We remain proud of Miller High Life. Its nickname in its Milwaukee, Wisconsin province." He said, "We invite our friends of Europe to the U.S. anytime to toast to the High Life together."
Your move, France.
Yeah. I feel like I got a little foghorn leghorn towards the end there.
Yeah.
I said, come on.
Yeah. About time we had a new French-American war. Fuck them.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, you got more on
what
it?
they say, like in the military, the French, they're like French rifles never fire dropped once.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm very surprised that the Europeans would even want that kind of beer, though. You know, like it's not great and like seemingly not like worth exporting it.
Sure.
You know, to Europe, like who's like, hey, I'm in in Germany where they have German beers, but you got a High Life, you know?
Sure.
So anyway, but I do think it would be kind of funny that if Molson Coors,
Yeah.
if they just created just a European line of the same exact thing, but just change it to like the European label said sparkling white wine and beer.
Yeah. No, they should.
I would absolutely love that would be the level of pettiness and snark
Yeah.
that I can get behind. My
Actually,
tax dollars will go there.
That's when I
buddy.
was like, I feel like we should tell a nice story about France because France, they got a couple bad ones,
Well,
but
they invented great kissing.
but I heard a
And
story.
ticklers.
That's true. And maids. Yeah.
Bread.
Yeah. What else?
I think the joke is.
All right, stop. And little dogs. Okay.
I've heard that everything's great. French and great have the best of everything except the people.
Yeah. But I did hear a story about France specifically, and honestly, this is one of those stories where I'm like, I think this should be a movie and it'd be interesting to look into. But apparently, when Germany occupied Paris, they put a Nazi flag at the top of the Eiffel Tower, and I guess every day, Frenchmen climb that thing to get that flag off the top, and they would be shot down by Nazis. And then eventually someone actually got it off the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I'm like, where is this movie? That's like Man on Wire. Do you remember that one? But like while being shot at.
I mean, I feel like that's what the sniper from Inglourious Bastards won his award to.
Yeah, I just honestly, I think the German guy just let him get it. I can't keep picking
I'm running
these.
out of bullets.
Yeah, I mean it's funny to watch him plinko to the
clips
ground
by this point.
Yeah.
Callback.
Yeah.
If you cut that first story, this is gonna sound so confusing.
I won't. This doesn't do that. Actually, let's keep in the war mindset.
I was like, clip mindset. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
So the war, like what war is going on right now currently? It's been going on for a year and a half now. It's Russia, Ukraine, right?
The Houthis and Tutsis.
Right. So did anybody see there was an attack on the Kremlin? So it was an attack on there's video on CNN and all this of it. It looks like a fireball that kind of hits the roof of the Kremlin. But and Putin came out and it was like an assassination attempt. But this looks like, dude, half a gallon of gasoline and a drone from Best Buy could have done this.
Are you gonna put it anywhere?
Yeah, like I'll put the video up here, and basically this is insulting to Russia because Russia has I think it was like S-400s and another aircraft all around the Kremlin. Apparently this drone got through, but this is one of those things like this feels like a false flag because Putin had the audacity to walk out and declare this an act of terrorism. Vladimir Putin said that a drone with a tiny bomb on it above the Kremlin is an act of terrorism.
I mean, he's just trying to create a reason.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like this is like the most false flag. Even like Zelensky came out and was like, we barely have enough weapons to defend our own home. No, we didn't attack the Kremlin. Putin, it's like, you liar! And it's just trying to justify whatever next move he's making.
Yeah, exactly.
But I couldn't believe that he said that out loud? He said a drone popping above the roof is an act of terrorism? That's like the tiny 9/11? He did a little George Bush.
I mean, coming from someone who I've actually done my own false flag, as I think I was, I've told Jake this story, and feel free to cut this if it goes too long. But I remember my mom.
And we're back.
Yeah. Dick. So anyway, my mom used to make me hang out with this kid named Steven, and I just abhorred Steven. But he was like friend of church and everything else, and I just had to hang out with him. And it was one of those like, he's lonely, needs friends. I'm like, what? So why me? So I remember.
So I have to be lonely too.
Yeah. But like Steven was such a weird dude, and I remember my mom's husband at the time. He had just laid down floated out this like new like concrete patch, like in a portion of like I think the sidewalk or the garage or something like that, right by there. And anyway, I was just like, man, fuck Steven. I hate this guy, Mm-hmm. So I went over and I grabbed a stick and I wrote Steven's name in my own sidewalk, or in the own cement patch. I wrote Steven's name. This is 100% true. I was probably like 12. Yeah. I don't know how is this diabolical, but this is my false flag. I remember my mom's husband was just beside himself with fury, and he was nonplussed, and he's screaming at Steven. And I remember Steven was like, "That's not even how you spell my name." I think I switched up the V and PH. I can't remember which one I did wrong.
Classic Steven.
But here's the thing. Exactly. Yeah. Steven was so goddamn weird. It'd be like par for the course. He misspelled his name. He's such a weirdo.
Yeah.
But that is the absolute true story. So there's my false flag.
Yeah,
Steven, if you're listening to me, dude, Steven right now is doing the Steve Buscemi.
I was gonna put this up. Like, you better call him and apologize.
He's like, Billy Madison.
Yeah, he's just lipstick. Steven's all over the wall, just like.
He's changed his name legally to the spelling I did.
He goes and traces the cement with his finger every night, just like one day.
Licking it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Steven's a weird guy.
Oh, so weird.
That's truly a false flag.
So anyway, so Putin, you did it.
Yeah,
that's ipso facto.
All right. So I was gonna end with the catfish. Let's see, you got other.
Oh, I got one more.
Yeah, I get to.
Okay,
that.
so,
Yeah.
all right, so That's a fun one. So,
I do have one more. I want to talk about Starship,
What a
SpaceX.
dick. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Say it.
Well, just real quick, we haven't had a chance to talk about it, but it was like everyone saw the SpaceX launch, and it was pretty incredible. Like that rocket is over twice as powerful as the Saturn V rocket, which took us to the moon. But I feel like I saw some people who were like, whatever, it exploded. Like they kind of thought everything above the launch pad was considered a success, and they're like, yeah, but it exploded. It's like they self-destructed it because something was going wrong, and it was kind of guided.
I didn't know they self-destructed.
Yeah, it was getting misguided off course, and it's one of those like if this thing cuts left and lands over homes. You can't have that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
I keep forgetting about like that's gonna kill a bunch of people.
So people are like, it exploded. No, they were like, okay, yeah, self-terminate the. I think it's called a rapid unscheduled deconstruction, which I'm gonna call whatever I hit with my car next.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those like I'm looking forward to the next one, and I think they actually did damage the launch pad, and that was because the rockets were just so powerful, it just blew the concrete away, and that's what they think might have actually went bad. It was the impact of the you ever power wash the edge and you catch mud and it flies up at you.
Yes.
That, but with concrete, it's rockets.
Oh, okay.
And they think that
It's
might
called
have
Spalding, I think.
Yeah, so they think that might have like damaged something. So it's one of those like you're forgetting that's a 400-foot tall building float into the sky.
Yeah.
And people are like, Elon Musk's rocket didn't even make it around the world. Like, like the dust, Cheeto dust off their tits. Like, what a retard. So, anyways, that's
also he wants to charge $8 so people can't be bots.
Yeah.
So anyway,
like seriously, if an alien comes down, they're like, all right, who made the reusable rockets? Like, all right, good job. This guy, who made the electric cars? Like, same guy. That's weird. All right, who made the tunnels under LA for the same guy? All right, who made the neural? The same guy. What the fuck else are you billionaires doing? Like, why is it this guy?
Well, I did see that Jeff Bezos, he just got a brand new yacht, but how embarrassing!
It was too big.
Doesn't have a helipad, so he had to get a second support yacht that follows his new yacht.
But this one looked like an idiot.
Yeah,
and the dumbass got a yacht so big they had to deconstruct a bridge so it could get by.
Yeah,
what a dummy. Yeah, or he's just wondering, does anyone like my giant clock in Texas? You guys remember that?
The infinity clocker is going to be like go for like a 10,000 years or 1,000 years.
Yeah, it has like a 100-foot pendulum or something useless.
I'll tell you what is not useless. See, I'm teeing something up here.
Yeah.
So it's Dead City Coffee. All right, so we got our next sponsor, and our last sponsor is going to be Dead City Coffee. It's heavy metal coffee roasters, born in hell, roasted in Wisconsin. You can find them online, their website at deadcitycoffee.com, Instagram at Dead City Coffee, and on Facebook at Dead City Coffee.
It's excellent coffee. We've been drinking it at the shop ever since he's been bringing it down, and I it's one of those I truly enjoy it. It's not just a hookup promo. It tastes great.
No, it's fantastic coffee. And honestly, if you live in Janesville or even probably Rock County, if you get a hold of them on their website, deadcitycoffee.com, Instagram, Dead City Coffee, or Facebook, Dead City Coffee, you can probably get a bag delivered to you. So there you go. Thank you, Rocky, very much.
And again, mention this podcast and it's 20% more.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep. Or he'll open mouth kiss you.
Yeah, that too.
Consensual. Sorry, he probably won't do that.
No, he won't. Did you have one more thing before?
I've got one more thing. Okay, so, all right. Besides the pretend open mouth kiss, so anyway, a 61-year-old man was in Colorado with. Sorry, a 61-year-old man in Colorado was just recently charged with 30 counts of child abuse.
It's hilarious.
Hold on, it's about, hold on, it's about to get funny.
All right.
It's about to get funny. So anyway, their ages they range from kindergarten to 6th grade. It's still about to get funny. Hold on, bear with me.
It's already.
He was their bus driver.
Oh, that's fine.
All right. So apparently,
there's certain things you trust the rage of. You know?
So apparently, these kindergarten to 6th graders, they were running all around and bouncing around all over the place, refusing to sit in their seats. So he decided to teach them a lesson. You're nodding. Have you seen this? Or you're just like excited about it? Okay. You're just like, get him.
I don't know what he did.
So in the video, you can actually hear, because there's a transcription. You can see the video as well. He said in the video, he goes, you guys want to see how dangerous that is?
You do it an auto voice?
Yeah. Oh, hey, man. Oh. Oh, nice Simpsons reference. Anyway, so he brake checked the shit out of the school bus. and sent some of the kids lurching forward. And the video is pretty satisfying. I'll be honest with you. I probably sound like a dick, but whatever. But
So you can tell which girls were wearing makeup. Check the front of the back of the seats. A bunch of clown faces.
They all got clown mouth in the back seat.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Anyway, so Renee, don't look up clown mouth. So anyway,
She's like, I know what it means.
I know what it means. What does it mean, Renee?
It's where clowns make silly faces.
Honk, honk.
Yeah.
So anyway, right now I can only imagine like she's gonna stop it, just pause, send me a mean message.
Yeah.
So anyway, and we're back. Hi, Renee. So
Red Wings.
So after he break checked the shit out of the kids, he said, "Did you like that?" Or he goes, "Did you get that? That's why you need to be in your seats. Now sit down or turn around and sit properly."
You know what I'm really laughing at is how hard did that stop sign fling out? It's like a little fish gill.
Like the bicyclist next to ping.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now again, I'm not saying what he did was right, but I am saying I understand.
You remember buses?
I remember
buses.
being the reason why buses should brake check.
Dude, my kids don't have a bus, and I can't, like, I describe a bus to them, they're like, that sounds like fun, and it kind of sounds like fun, but I remember kids throwing books at the bus driver at their head. There was a score.
I'm just saying he let in his intrusive thoughts win.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's another true story about me. My first job ever was actually I worked at a bus company.
Okay.
When I was a teenager, and what had happened is my favorite uncle. He happened to be like the big shooter at that particular bus place in.
Sure.
I won't say their name, but it's in Schmilton, Schmashman.
Yeah.
and it's Schmite Schmay.
Do a little research.
So-
It's the #1 bus company.
Yeah. So anyway, actually, I will say this. So that is where I legitimately learned how to drive a stick shift as a 16-year-old on a bus.
Okay.
So yeah. So I think that's a cool story. But I remember there was a couple of bus drivers that I'm like, I could see them raging out on some kids.
Oh, 100%.
There's this other bus driver who she's probably dead now, so I'll say her name, Mary Ellen.
Let's bring her out. Hey, Mary Ellen.
Fuck her. Yeah. So anyway, dude, I'm not kidding you. This is legitimately on my mom. I promise you that what we would do, because if I had to drive, I wasn't like driving kids around, but I would have to drive the buses to the garage, or back them up or do whatever, like to spray them out, because during the summer too. So corn to tasseling, I had to clean out the mud. And so anyway, if we anyone that ever had to sit in Mary Ellen, the bus driver's seat, what we used to do is we would take a trash bag and we cut the holes out of the bottom leg holes, and we put a trash bag on like a giant diaper and sit on it. And the reason being is because she needed to wear a giant diaper. She would piss her seat all the time. That is like, I don't know if it was just like incontinence thing, but I'm not kidding you.
It's the most Wisconsin bus. It was like the corn to tasseling mud and the driver piss would mix. And go down the stairs.
I remember one time the mechanic, who was definitely would be a brake checker,
Sure.
He sat down in her seat, now known as her bus, and just soaked his like coveralls in piss, and he was so fucking pissed because he can't leave. Like, go take the pee off, like he had to sit there in Mary Ellen's old cat lady piss.
Yeah.
Like,
Yellow wasn't just on the outside of the school bus. Yuck.
Oh,
That's her seat though. She marked it.
It's her territory.
That is awesome. I was gonna. Do you got more?
No, go right into.
We have a movie recommendation.
Actually, we have a movie star. In the audience right now.
He actually was in this movie. It takes place in Wisconsin. It is called Beyond Human Nature. I haven't seen this myself. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It is a documentary about a 1992 homicide or suicide in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You already got me. I love that. Like,
It should have been question mark.
Yeah.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. Also in here, it was basically all directed in Wisconsin, filming, production, all of that is available for purchase on Amazon, Vudu, Apple, other outlets. It's a very neutral film. I got basically our actor star wrote a synopsis of it. It allows viewers to decide if it's a murder or a suicide. Which one was it?
Suicide.
It was suicide? All right, we'll see.
Spoiler.
All right, yeah. Were the 6 men wrongfully convicted of the homicide? So That sounds great. I'm looking forward to watching Beyond Human Nature. And we'll get an Internet Movie Database going for our fan base here. So, So, all right, thanks for that. I'm going to watch it and get back. I'll recommend it next time and tell you what I think.
Very nice.
Listeners, do it too. Write in. Tell us what you think. Renee, watch it in like 5 minutes.
She's already watched it.
Yeah. She's like,
she watches like she reads.
Yeah.
Just fast forwards.
I'll get right, did it. So, all right, so then let's end on a catfish.
All right.
All right. I don't need to describe it again. Okay, so play along, listeners. All right, number 1. A feral cat hunting competition in New Zealand for children has been canceled after massive backlash online, or meowtrage. Number 2. A cow milking contest in India for farmers has been canceled due to mutiny by the cows, who refused to participate and demanded better treatment and working conditions. Or number 3. A pig race in the UK for spectators has been canceled due to hamstrung incident, where one of the pigs got stuck in a fence and caused a delay in the event.
I want it to be 2, but I think it's 3.
Okay.
I like mutiny, but I think it's hamstrung.
Thank you for appreciating my puns. So I was like, I really wanted to theme. Adam always does nice themes. I'm like, I'm gonna try. So, they're deliberating. He's a movie star now. So he can't be wrong. He's arm across and stroking the chin. Which one? 1. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go.
Do 1? Okay. Here's the answer. In a new category, North Canterbury competition, children were encouraged to kill as many cats as possible for a $250 prize.
Are you serious?
Yeah, cats with a microchip that were killed would disqualify the children.
You can't check for a microchip.
That's what I was like, what does that mean? You got to like hope? You know, they're like skinning them, like, I'm out.
This one had a collar in from my own house.
Steven got one.
Steven's
got a bell on. So,
the leash is to my hand.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was like
Can you read that title again, though?
A feral cat hunting competition in New Zealand for children has been canceled after massive backlash online. Meowtrage. But in my mind, I'm like, is there a really bad feral cat problem in New Zealand?
I just think there's a bad feral cat
There must be.
problem in the world.
I think if there's a feral cat problem, that means there's not a mouse problem.
Yeah, there's not a...
Right? I mean, it's like they'd be starving to death if they weren't making sure mice weren't in your house.
Yeah.
Like,
they're getting enough protein, that's
like,
for sure.
I mean, how bad would it be? Like, what are they, mugging you as you walk by? Like, are they
I mean, to be fair, cats are, we've talked about this, but outdoor cats are horrifically invasive to the world.
to the vermin.
Yeah.
So,
but they
like,
kill birds and stuff like that too. And
Sure.
they thrill kill, you know.
Nah, it sounds like a fun place. I
It
don't
sounds like thrill kill. The feral cat anomaly.
I think
here.
it'd be
this
fun-
Is, this is our audience member's new movie that he's coming out with.
I think, like, instead of, how about
Directed by me. It's just him. It's
Yeah.
this is just a terrible remake of Cats.
just change it to lassos and rope them. That'd be fun. Just have a whole crate of them. Like, oh, Timmy got 15. He's fucking good.
Time to let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
Nah, whatever. Boo. All right.
All right.
Well, let's end it on this then.
Yeah.
This has been episode 114. Thank you very much for listening. The next episode, we're super excited for you to hear. We had a fantastic time with Sasha Rosser.
Yeah, she was super fun. I'm really excited to get that out for you.
Very funny. Very, very funny lady. And actually, I'm going to be honest with you, I was...
Smart.
Yeah, very smart, but also, like, I was like, man, you're hitting the cum jokes real fast.
Yeah.
I'm the one. I make the gross one. So
I was like, what are you trying to do?
Yeah, I had to forfeit my first place trophy to her. So
I was looking like, you don't get to be stupider and smarter. That's not fair. That's a wider range.
No, just gross. No, she's definitely not. She wasn't more stupid. She was definitely much smarter but also hysterically gross, more gross.
Yeah.
So
in
I
a
love
very
it.
great way. So please tune into that. Let us know what you think.
And you can see her live at the Janesville Comedy Club Comedy Cabin at cabinlaughs.com May 25th.
Yep. Be there. We will be. And thank you so much.
Yeah, my name's Adam. Yoda one for me.
My name is Jake. I had plenty of time to think of a nickname, and I didn't think of one.
Oh, whatever. May the 4th be with you,
Bussy.
nerds.
All right.
Later, boaters.
Bye.
You met me at a very strange time in my life.
With your feet on the air,
Where'd all the days go? Days go to Mercury.
Just let it happen.
You see the
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.